Welcome back. Wisconsin is on the brink of a solar energy boom. Right now, nearly 20 projects across the state have been approved or are awaiting approval by the Public Service Commission. The largest to date in Dane County, the state recently approving the Koshkonong Solar Energy Project. Chicago-based Invenergy will build the first industrial-scale solar plant in the county. Utilities, including We Energies and Madison Gas and Electric, now seeking approval to buy the project as part of their new investments in solar. And now Wisconsin groups are pushing to ensure that Wisconsin workers build it. Rob Call is executive director of the Construction Business Group, representing some 30,000 trade workers and 4,000 contractors. Rob, good to see you. Welcome to Upfront.
Thank you for having me.
Let's begin. I want you to help me put this into context for everyone. What is the state about to embark on in terms of this new shift to solar?
So our first large utility scale project, solar project, was approved in 2020, went online in 2020, I should say. We've got at least another 19 or 20 in the process, in the pipeline at the PSC. It's going to be in a matter of a few years, about a 400% increase in solar energy production here in the state of Wisconsin. So it's significant. The economic investment will be over $2 billion, which exceeds our last state capital budget. So the economic impact will be huge. The impact that we as ratepayers will see will be a significant shift towards clean energy, which is, I think everybody can agree, is a good thing. What we're mostly concerned about, though, is where those jobs are going to go.
I was going to say, let's talk about those jobs. And you mentioned it's really on the front end of this, in the construction of these farms. What's the potential across the state?
Well, if you look at Koshkonong is a large project in eastern Dane County being proposed. That's about 300 megawatts, I believe. So you're going to have, if it's done by Wisconsin workers, et cetera, about a $46 million expenditure on wages and benefits. That, if Wisconsin workers, will mean about a $24 million economic impact locally here in Wisconsin. Conversely, if you have that work done by out-of-state workers, instead of a $24 million impact, it drops down to about a $9 million economic impact for our communities. So you're talking about a 70 to 160% reduction in economic impact for your local communities.
So bring me behind the scenes. How does this work? I'm assuming it's not as simple as saying, all right, please hire Wisconsin workers, and they say, okay.
Right. No, it's a great question. At the PSC, they can't require a proposed development utilize Wisconsin workers. What they can do, and what they have started to do, and we're really appreciative of them doing this, is require developers to track and report the economic impact and makeup of the construction workforce on a given project. So when these folks make these applications at the PSC, part of their application is talking about the economic benefits of these projects. And part of that application then talks about the economic impact locally of these projects, relying heavily on the jobs being created. What we're simply saying is, let's have some transparency and accountability. If you're making those statements, you're making those assertions in support of your application to get approval, then let's have some tracking of those jobs. Some states like Ohio, where it's a Republican governor, Republican legislature, they give on renewable energy projects, they give tax credits to companies if they have over 70% of the workforce come from Ohio. Now that would be a policy change here, but we've had some discussions with people on both sides of the aisle, and there seems to be a great level of interest in something like that. But again, that would be a change in the law.
Let's say the companies agree to this and say, okay, yeah, we will hire Wisconsin workers. Are there even enough workers in the state to do all of this work?
Another great question, because we obviously have, we've had a great transportation budget at the state level and a great capital budget, as I mentioned earlier, close to $2 billion itself. And then you add on the bipartisan infrastructure bill out in Washington that was passed. There's a lot of infrastructure projects coming, and that's just on the public sector side. So we are ready and able to do it, but I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We do have to do a lot more in our efforts to recruit, to maintain that level of workforce that's needed.
A new boom that's starting to get a lot of attention across the state. Rob Call, Executive Director of the Construction Business Group. Rob, hey, really appreciate your time and perspective.
Thank you for having me.
Up next on this Juneteenth, a new radio station launching today, the new federal holiday, and the new voices you'll hear.